What's good? I'm a Ruthless Addicts. It is your girl, Tika Deshawn. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. All right, let's just go ahead and dive right out into season 4, episode 22, the season finale of The Oval. Oh my God, it was crazy, as always. I don't think it could get any worse. Well, then again, it probably could get worse than what we have seen. But so far, on episode 22, which was entitled The Last Strike, we saw on the previous episode, we saw that Donald had been shot by Brian. Brian was the officer who Donald decided he was going to ruin his career. Now, usually, you guys, I don't talk about the Oval. I really only focus on the Haulsen family tragedy. So let me go ahead and jump on into the Haulsen family tragedy, and then I will let you guys know what happened with some of the cliffhangers, okay? So Richard finds Nancy hanging, and he was able to muster up the strength to get her down from hanging. In the midst of that, he's trying to get her to wake up. She's not complying. She's not waking up. He tries to call, emergency 911. They say that the ambulance is like 9 minutes away, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, 9 minutes, that's a long time. So even Richard said, that's a long time. And so they tell him, well, does there anybody in their house that knows CPR or can do CPR? And he says yes. And so he begins to do the chest compressions, but then he changes it up and says, I'm doing breaths. Now, today during CPR, you're no longer required to do the breaths. You're only required to do the chest compressions. So the 911 or the operator says, do you know the song Staying Alive? If you know the song Staying Alive, you can use that to keep up with the pace. And so awkwardly, Richard begins to sing the song Staying Alive to attempt to do the chest compressions. But then he tells the operator, listen, when they come, just tell them to kick the door in, because in a nutshell, he is not leaving Nancy. So finally the EMS arrived, finally the 911, the police arrive, and the police begins to do CPR, and then the rescue, once they walk in, they begin to do the CPR. So finally we see them taking Nancy out on the stretcher, and oh my God, what a dramatic scene it is, because of course, Miss Jody is outside trying to find out what is going on. She's screaming, Richard, what's going on? What's going on? And the police officer tells her to mind her business. And Miss Jody says, she is my business. And like I told a lot of people before, yeah, we call neighbor Jody the nosy neighbor. However, she is very protective over the Haulsen family. So the police talk to Richard and say, hey, before you go to the hospital, we want to talk to you. And Richard is like, okay, what's up? So they give him Barry's wallet. And Richard is saying, and then the police officer says, we found this and we think it may be your son's. Now Richard is tasked with going down to the police station to identify, to verify whether or not it is Barry. But in the midst of that, y'all, Miss Jody is crying. Richard is crying because he thinks, or is now for sure, that his son is dead. And when I tell you guys, this scene literally took me out. It had me in tears. Jody was crying. Neighbor Jody was crying. Richard was crying. And anyway, y'all, my heart was in my feet. So then we see Sharon and Dale. Like I said, Dale had made his way to the apartment. The police are there, and they are being ushered down basically to the police station. Now, Sharon, which is what Kareem was trying to tell her before she took him out, was don't report this to the police because they're gonna think that I did it. I feel like someone is trying to set me up. Now, moving on to the police station, Sharon and Dale, they're both taken to the police station, and Sharon receives a phone call. And so, but before Sharon receives that phone call, Dell is saying, what if it's the president? What if it's the Rakadushi? What if they have something to do with this? And lo and behold, the freaking president gets on the phone, calls Sharon, and lets her know, hey, I want to see you. And Sharon's like, I'm not coming to see you. And then the president says, why? Because your boyfriend, both of your boyfriends are dead, or one of them is being accused of killing the other one. And oh my God, how the heck did he know that? How did the president know that? Okay, with that being said, y'all, this is what makes me believe that the president is in cahoots with the Rockadushi, with the highest, and that whole cult. So somebody said that the president could be related to the highest. Either way, the skit is crazy. I cannot believe that these two are connected. Now, let me give you guys a couple of quick cliffhangers. Last week we saw Donald had been shot. We didn't see Donald this week. So, of course, this is the season finale. They got us hanging literally on a cliff. Hunter, after getting so much drugs, and keep in mind that the drugs that Alan told Alonzo to give to the president had fentanyl in it. Now, the president freaking passed out, y'all. He had so much of the drugs that he ended up passing out. And in the common sense mind that he did have, he says, Alonzo, I think you need to get my wife. Yeah, because you're behind this ODing. In the midst of the president ODing, before he OD'd, he made Alonzo put on this crazy looking wig, you guys. It was hilarious. And he was dancing to this music that I thought was a vibe. I wish I could give it to you. But anyway, y'all, then on the other cliffhanger, we have Jason finally got away from Kyle, who and he and the other CIA agent who made their way to the house to that cabin in the woods to attempt to kill them. They made their way there, and they threw in smoke bombs. But anyway, the guy that was there with Jason asked him, "Do you know how to drive a motorcycle?" And Jason was like, "Yes." So fortunately, Jason was on the front of the motorcycle. The guy was on the back of the motorcycle, ended up getting shot. So he fell off the motorcycle and Jason was still able to get away. Again, y'all know I normally don't do recaps on the total part of Oval. I only focus on the Haulsen family tragedy. But finally, somebody has laid hands on Victoria, and it was much needed. Victoria and Simone get into first. She confronts her about trying to set her man up with somebody else, and then Victoria so brazenly, so boldly says, "I'm that B. I'm that hoe that he's messing with." And Simone is like, "Oh no, you just talking, you just talking." Then she starts describing certain features about Eli, and that's when it clicks with Simone, and the fight begins. It was almost like a WWE Royal Rumble. The two of them get into a tussle, and then they end up falling over the banister. Who's gonna make it alive? Who's gonna return back on when season 5 returns, you guys? Anyway, that was the end of the ovals. That was the season finale. It was crazy. Is Nancy gonna make it? That's another cliffhanger because she's ushered to the hospital. But then we have poor Richard. Is he gonna make it? Because I don't know how much more this man can take. He's already been shot. He's panicking, spazzed out. He found out his wife cheated with his daddy. It's just so much going on. I don't know if Richard's gonna make it, but I hope and pray that they do, because we gotta find baby Callie. That's what it all boils down to in this Haulsen tragedy. We have got to find and get back baby Callie. With that being said, drop your comments below. I know you guys saw this episode. Twitter was going crazy over the last episode. Did you guys watch? Drop your comments in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. Let me know your predictions for season 5. Okay. With that being said, oh yeah, you guys, don't forget our girl Nyrene S. Brown, who played Lynn in Tyler Perry's Ruthless, is going to be starring, or she's going to be in the movie Swarm, which is supposed to come out March 17th on Prime Video. She's going to play a Beyonce-like character. Where she is admired and then she ends up dying. I don't know if it's a whole Selena type situation where a fan ends up killing her, but at the end of the day, y'all, it's crazy. This entire movie is going to be crazy. So make sure you guys check out Swarm. It's going to be all things ruthless, okay? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for tapping in. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell so that you may receive notification of brand new content, okay? All right, you guys. Well, that's about it. Thank you guys for tapping in, and you guys stay ruthless.